I was looking for a hydration bladder that would fit into my EXO mountain hunting backpack. I know there's lots of outdoor adventure brands selling hydration packs and hydration bladders. I came across the company Source Tactical. It is a company based in Israel and its origins are making products for the Israeli Defense Force. That got my attention. So what I have here is a hydration pack from Source Tactical. It includes a 3 liter 100 ounce hydration bladder. I'll spin around so you have a look at the back. I'm really pleased with this Source Tactical hydration pack and bladder. Join me in this video as I explain to you its features. Let's talk through this product. The Rider product is Source Tactical's premier low-profile hydration pack, designed specifically for ballistic vest integration and yet quickly converts for backpack carriage or rucksack insertion. This product is a component of Source Tactical's Virtus Soldier system, selected by the United Kingdom Ministry of Defence in 2015 for the British Armed Forces. On the front, you see 1, 2, 3, 4 X-QCA quick cross connect. They allow the Rider hydration pack to securely mount to ballistic vests or backpacks with no need for additional straps or hardware. How this is achieved is by undoing this buckle and then loosening this and inserting this into the molly of the ballistic vest or backpack. So through something like this, and then pulling this clip through and eventually clipping it back up. So that would secure 1, 2, 3, 4 of those clips to the ballistic vest or the backpack molly. You'll also note there are 3 rows of molly webbing and 2 rows of velcro. There's a strong carry handle, and on both sides there's an entry portal for the drinking hose to feed through, including one on this side. On the bottom there is a belt and tab to secure this lid. On the bottom of the pack there's also a drain hole. In case there's water collected in the bag, it can drain away quickly. The lid of this bag actually has a zip, and it allows the user to deposit things in here, small items, so that's helpful. And there's a zip on the right. Undo that. A zip on the left. Undo that, and I'm able to access water bladder inside. Inside, I have the Source Tactical WLPS hydration bladder, 3 liter 100 ounce. I'll take it out for you later. Looking at the rear of the pack, that's a 2 shoulder harness. And you put the drinking hose either on this shoulder strap or the other shoulder strap, and it's held in by Velcro. And you can adjust the straps for length by adjusting this lower bottom part. And there is a sternum strap. If you intend to use this hydration pack together with a ballistic vest or on the back of a backpack attached to the molly webbing, then what you can do is undo these shoulder straps by removing the bottom half completely. And tucking that strap into the pocket at the back. And you can fold this end in. There's an elastic band, and you can tuck this into the hole at the rear. So that eliminates the shoulder strap, and you just use the 4 buckles, 1, 2, 3, 4, to attach to the molly webbing of your ballistic vest or backpack. The rear pocket is empty, but there is a luminous safety strap inside. If you flick that across, that safety strap can be strapped to the front cover, and if you're wearing this, it is a good safety tag. Obviously this is not something to use in a military tactical situation, but if you're hunting, that is useful. Now let's look at how to remove the hydration bladder. At the top, you see that the hydration bladder is strapped in to the top with a velcro. Just remove that, and then push on the tab of the QMT Quick Mate technology to release the tube. So that is the QMT, this is the SQC, this is Source Quick Connect. They pair together. The advantage of this QMT technology is even when there's water in the bladder, there's a valve that stops it pushing out, so you don't have a mess and you don't lose water. So now the hose can be detached, and I simply need to take the bladder out. So this is Source Tactical's WLPS low profile 3 liter 100 ounce water bladder. Source Tactical makes a few different models, but my preference was to go for this model, which simply has a wide access for water at the top. There are other models which have a wide access at the top and also a cap access on the side. This bladder has a wide pack technology which allows very wide opening. You flick it open, so essentially there's one layer, two layers, and a third layer reinforcement. So when you bend over, you're actually getting 4 layers. So that's very rugged. To put the lock back, so you see where the string is attached, it's attached to the end of the neck with a wide hole, and the other end has a narrower hole. So take the wide hole, put it at the opposite end, slide it in. Very easy. If I open up the bladder for you, you see in the middle that there's a seam securing it. That seam runs about 3/4 length down the depth of the bladder. When the bladder fills up, it prevents the bladder from bulging out too much, so the seam allows the bladder to maintain a low profile. There are 2 other technologies Source Tactical has put into this bladder. The first one it calls glass-like finish, the second it calls grunge guard. These 2 technologies prevent the growth of bacteria inside. The grunge guard also exists in the inner tube. If I push on the tab, I separate the QMT, which is the Quick Mate technology, and the SQC, which is the Source Quick Connect. The cover of this tube protects the inner tube from UV light damage. Source Tactical have 2 models of mouthpieces. The one that comes standard supplied with this bladder is the storm valve. This is the storm valve. There is a dirt shield. All you do is pull it out. There's a string that retains it so you don't lose the cap. And if you want to keep this mouthpiece accessible and open for a long time, pull this string through the gap, lift the string up. It catches into a narrow gap, so it locks that string into position and the cap stays there. So that's great, it doesn't knock around and annoy you. Storm valve has a lock mechanism. What you do is you twist it anti-clockwise and it unlocks. Then you pull it out and the water will run. You do not have to bite on it. If you push it back, the water should stop flowing, and you turn it clockwise again, it will lock. You can also rotate this completely 360 in any direction and it will still function. You notice there's a little knob here and a notch, so when these 2 are aligned, that means it's locked. So if I twist it again anti-clockwise, it's unlocked, but water is not flowing yet, and then if I pull it out, water will flow. The benefit of the storm valve system is this: there may be times when I want water to just flow continuously. For instance, if I'm washing a wound, the storm valve system may not be suitable for some modes of use. For instance, if you're riding a bicycle, then your 2 hands are on the handle. You do not want to have to come and take one hand off to twist it, or have to take 2 hands, one to grip this and the other one to twist it and pull it out. That's not practical. So in that case, there is another valve called the helix valve. I'll show that to you later. The Source Tactical mouthpieces can be completely dismantled for proper maintenance and cleaning. To do that, push on the tab, release it, and it comes off. and you'll see there's prongs in there. If I use my finger to push the prong, it will release the other end. So all three pieces of the storm valve can be disassembled for proper cleaning. To put it back again, insert till the prongs click in, and then push that back in completely, and it's completely assembled. And then push the SQC to the QMT. Done. I'm going to fill this bladder up just from a water bottle through the neck. As you can see, there's water in there, and the QMT valve stops the water running out, so you don't get a mess and you don't waste water. Let me secure the neck. Excellent. I'll show you how you put the bladder back into the hydration pack. Lastly, connect the tube back to the QMT, and it's done. Close the lid, zip it up, and you're good. Everything about the hydration bladder and hydration pack is well designed and manufactured with good, robust material. It is a fantastic product. You've now seen the standard features of the Source Tactical Rider hydration pack and bladder. I now want to show you some optional accessories you can get. Firstly, there is the hydration upgrade kit, which includes a storm valve and a UTA universal tube adapter. It comes with a QMT quick mating technology. There is also the helix valve you can use instead of the storm valve. There's a tube brush for cleaning the drinking hose, and there's an SQC quick connector. Let's talk about the hydration upgrade kit. This kit includes the storm valve, it includes the UTA, which is the universal tube adapter. It also includes the QMT quick mating technology. We know about the storm valve already because it comes standard with any of Source Tactical's hydration bladders, such as here. So this can become a spare. So the UTA looks like that. It has a outlet tube that you connect to the hydration hose. It has a valve and it has a flexible rubber adapter. This is where you can push in the nose of a water bottle or push this up into a water tap. As you know, to fill water into the hydration bladder, we can either remove the bladder completely from its hydration pack, open the wide access neck, and fill water from the neck. Alternatively, if you want to fill water without taking the bladder out, the solution is to use the UTA. You push to release the mouthpiece, then you take the UTA, you push in and mate it to the QMT. With this in place, you can push this into the neck of a water tap, turn the tap on, and it will fill the water bladder. Alternatively, if you have a water bottle, you can invert the water bottle, push the neck of the water bottle into this nozzle, water will flow into the bladder. So this is a very useful adapter to allow you to quickly refill your water bladder without removing it from your pack. All Source Tactical hydration bladders come standard with the storm valve. To operate the storm valve, it is a locked position when the pimple is aligned with the notch. To unlock it, turn the valve anti-clockwise. Water will not flow yet until you pull the valve out. Water will then continue to flow under gravity. So this is useful where, for instance, you need to clean your wound and you just want water to run. To stop the water, push it in. To lock the valve, turn it clockwise. That's now locked. The storm valve is not suitable for some users like cyclists who have to keep their hands on a handlebar and do not have their hands free to operate the valve. Source Tactical have a solution for that. It is the helix valve. The helix valve looks like that. Push it in, mates nicely. It also has a dirt shield. Same thing, to keep the dirt shield locked in position, pull it target upwards and it stays there. The way the Helix works is different. It's actually a bite valve. It's not a pull valve. There is still a lock mechanism. To unlock the valve, turn it anti-clockwise and you see that the valve moves outwards. I'll show you again. Now the Helix valve is unlocked. Water will not yet flow. If you bite the mouthpiece, water will flow. So the Helix valve will be more suited to users such as cyclists. If you've been using the water bladder for a long time and you want to clean the hose, just use the tube brush. All you need to do is remove the mouthpiece and push that in, push the brush in, fully extend it and clean it. You can buy replacement SQC connectors. If you have other hoses that you want to use the Source Tactical SQC system, you can do that. I do hope you enjoyed this video and found it informative. Do hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for more and to help the channel grow. Thank you so much.